I think we all know that we should be optimizing down with Amazon PPC in order to get the best results. But do you know that there is a high level strategy that requires you to optimize up in order to get the best results? If you're curious and want to know what the strategy is that have made thousands of dollars in extra profits for my clients, stay tuned. I'm Rick Wong, an Amazon seller and the founder of SellerMetrics, an Amazon advertising agency. If you are interested in content such as this one, where we talk about the latest Amazon FBA news, tips, and hacks, I invite you to subscribe. Okay, now with this strategy, so I think the key thing with Amazon PPC is all about like making sure your bid is the most optimal as possible. What do I mean the most optimal? Basically, you want to make the lowest bid you can in order to get clicks and also impressions, right? It's a very fine line. Sometimes you bid it too low and your clicks and impression can tank. So basically you want to bid into at that razor's edge where you could possibly lose all your impression and bids, and at the same time you want to bid at a point where you actually get the cheapest impressions and clicks as possible. So you can see this reverse pyramid right here. Looks rather obvious. So in order to get like low ACoS, you need to get low cost per click, and to get the lowest cost per click, you need to get the lowest bid possible. So how can we actually get the lowest bid possible? So a lot of times you are gonna be bidding down, right? You set a bid and then you bid down. Maybe you take the suggested bid from the Amazon advertising console, right? Get some impression and then bid down. A lot of times this might not be the most optimal bid. This bid might be acceptable to you, right? And you're getting your desired results, but it might not be the lowest bid for you to get impressions and clicks. A lot of times you want to go lower because the risk that is involved in terms of potentially tanking your clicks and also impressions. So kind of this low bid strategy, right, will kind of help you achieve finding that equilibrium, the lowest bid possible for you to achieve the same results. I also want to talk a little bit about the Amazon bid auction, right? So you can see like the bid auction, there's an auction at every single advertising slot, right? And a lot of times you might not want to win the most competitive slot, which is the #1 in the search result. Because, you know, if you actually win that slot, the cost per click might be really high. You might need to overbid. So the key is that with this strategy, you want to make a lowest bid possible to win a spot that can give you a very cheap impression and clicks. Right. So for example, you see like this like auction right here, you know, the top bid, right, will win the slot like over here. The second will win this one right here. You see like the third and fourth bid is much lower than the first bid, right? So you could be winning this third slot, right, around like 50% cheaper and probably give you like a much better cost per click in ACoS than versus you won this auction right here. So by using like a low bid strategy, you can really test out what particular slot that you want to win and get impressions for. Every single slot has like a different cost per impression and cost per click than say like the top and also like the second and third. They all have a different cost per click and also impressions. Okay, so more on a more tangible, more technical implementation of how to actually use the strategy. So what we're going to do, right, with this strategy, we're going to give it like a very low bid for the keyword and target. And then we are going to leverage the adjust placement function on sponsored products. So if you actually go to the campaign settings, if you actually scroll all the way down, you see adjust bid by placement, you are going to leverage this function to kind of just increase your bidding modifiers. Basically what it does is that increase your bid by padding it up a certain percentage, right, to get your bid to the top of search, which would be like right here. And then what you're gonna do, you're gonna set a low bid, as I mentioned. So you can play around with this. It's really dependent. So I would say roughly around 15% of your current cost per click. So let's just say your cost per click around for your product line is around $1. So you might want to test this out with 15 cents first. If you don't have a cost per click or you're just like launching a product initially, what you can do is that you can actually look in the suggested bid in your Amazon ad console, right? So use that as your benchmark. So 15% of the average bid from your suggested bid would suffice. And then what you're gonna do is that on a periodic basis, so basically every 2 days, every 4 days, right, you are gonna increase your top of search placement by 20% incrementally until you get consistent impression and clicks. So you can see like I've increased it all the way to 150%, percent. And you can see on my campaign history that I've been incrementally increase it up and up. Steadily, I've been getting more and more impressions for this as time goes on. So you can see like this right here, basically what more or less what I'm trying to do is that I offer a very low bid, say 20 cents, 15 cents. At that rate, I'm probably not going to get any impressions, right? Especially if my top of search placement adjustment is 0. So as I increase it, my cost per click, right, increase steadily, right, up to a point where, say, at 45 cents, I started to get like the consistent impressions and also clicks, and that is probably my lowest cost per click or bid, where I would start incurring some impression and clicks, right? So that is the strategy. So we're actually like slowly, incrementally bidding up in order to reach the most optimal bid. And you can see like in my strategy, my campaign right here that I'm running the strategy has been doing pretty well. So you can see I offer a very low bid. The cost per click is basically around like 4 times our bid, because I've been increasing it using the bid placement rule right here. So as I increase it, I get more impressions, I get more sales, and then yeah. So basically, once you're happy with the results, you can just like keep your bids and also your placement percentage, right? And continue to run this campaign. So this strategy is not for all purposes. So this strategy works best when, number one, you want to revive a product that you haven't been selling for a while. For example, this product you haven't been selling for a while. You're not happy with the previous campaign ACoS. Maybe you want to revive it with a new campaign, and this strategy works well for that. Another use for it is that you want to advertise for a variation of the main product. So basically, you have your main product, your main variation that had its own campaign. Maybe you want to advertise for the next variation of that product. Maybe you could run the strategy to get some very low impression and low clicks that can further pad your ACoS. This also works when you actually make this a supplementary campaign to your hero or money campaigns. It also works well for if you actually offer a low bid for long tail and lower volume keywords. Also works well for that. On the other hand, I would not use this strategy as like a replacement for your hero and money campaign. This strategy is not meant to replace your main campaigns, your hero and money campaigns. Replacing them with this strategy can be very disruptive to your current sales, right? So you definitely do not want to do that as a replacement. This strategy is a bit of a supplement to your current campaigns that is running. So that's it. Basically, to cap it off, you are going to like offer a very low bid, right, for your product. So low bid could be different for different products. So for example, for my product, a low bid is considered to be at 20 cents. And then as time goes on, you are going to incrementally increase your placement percentage top of search 20% on an ongoing basis. So you can see me increasing it as time goes on, right? Once you actually get to a certain level of clicks and impressions, I think in actually achieving sales, you could just let this ride at the current settings. To end this off, Amazon advertising continues to be very competitive, so it's always a razor's edge to get the perfect bid and cost per click for your campaign. And I believe this strategy can help you suppress your cost per click and ACoS by preventing you from overbidding. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you are a seller and want to grow your business using Amazon advertising, I suggest you to book a call with me on the link below. And until the next video drop, happy selling.